instantly there was just so much happening. There was so much going on. There was too much to take in. There's something going on, whether it's birds flying or Mickey driving or whatever. There's so, like, I feel like I only experienced half the attraction because I just could only focus on one thing at a time. And that is something really cool. Hey explorers, it's mid-March and I'm coming to you from my quarantine quarters where basically I'm just getting by so far by rewatching and reviewing all of my Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway footage. Now I can say from experience that from your first ride to your 8th ride, there is just so much to take in as far as the entire attraction is concerned. There's a lot to look at, and whatever direction you end up picking to look in, it's a good one and you're going to be rewarded in some way by the little things you see. This is easily one of the most lively attractions that Imagineering has ever done. Imagineers appear to have assembled this by design with great rewritability in mind. They've boasted that this attraction has the most hidden Mickeys of any other attraction ever, and honestly, I've only spotted a few of them at this point, and I won't give away too many here because the fun is in finding them yourself. But there's also a ton of Easter eggs, basically little extras and little nods hidden by the creators like Easter eggs on Easter morning. Whether they be references to older attractions or other people, kind of like how Mr. Toad is handing the deed off to Owl in the Winnie the Pooh ride here in Disney World, or how Buff, Max, and Melvin, the taxidermied bus from the Country Bear Jamboree, are in the Winnie the Pooh ride in Disneyland. Easter eggs are basically these little nods that you really kind of have to look for, and Runaway Railway's got a ton of these. One of my favorite things though about this attraction is that there is actually a second story happening simultaneously with the craziness of the Mickey and Minnie plot. This second story was confirmed just a couple of weeks before the ride opened, and that story follows my all-time favorite Disney character, Pluto. Pluto is one of a kind as far as animation goes. I love that his inability to speak never ever hinders his ability to communicate. You always know 100% what Pluto is feeling, what he's thinking. He's an underappreciated animation triumph to me, and like I said, he's my favorite Disney character. If I ever got a tattoo, it would probably be of Pluto, like, I don't know, on the back of my shoulder or my forearm or something, I don't know. It's probably not a good idea. But anyways, I was thrilled to learn that the second story revolved around Pluto. So with that in mind, we're gonna take a ride on the Runaway Railway together, and we're gonna be on the hunt for Easter eggs and especially this secret Pluto plot. It's not really that secret if you're looking for it. So we begins up in the trunk with a picnic basket that contains a blueberry pie. Goofy shows up and says hello, and then they hit a bump and things run amok. Now I think Mickey taught us to get into the first room of the animated barn at Runamuck Park. This is where we encounter, I think, if you're looking for it. I'm not sure, but I think this is only if you are walking out of the first theater instead of the second farther theater. And there's a lot of fun details in the queue. It looks unique in its shape. It looks like it was specially designed. Then you're at the ride, you're waiting for your train car to pull up. Note the stop and go lights on the other side. I think those might be other hidden Mickeys there. And then we're off to the park, the Runamuck Park. What a lovely day as we are first and fully transported into the animated world. I love this sequence. I love the water feature the best in here. It's crazy appealing effect in person. It looks just so good. Here we get our first glimpse of Chubby the bird. People are talking a lot about Chubby, but man, people are sleeping on the sun. He's such a bright and vibrant and booming energy in this scene. Really puts a good start to the ride. And honestly, I haven't really been looking for Chubby, so I only know that he's in the final scene. If he's anywhere else, I've missed him so far, but that doesn't mean we won't find him. Now saying that, I don't think Pluto is in this scene. I could be wrong, but his presence is definitely not overstated. Though it is cool to see the Dapper Dans ride by. As we go into the tunnel, we first see the establishing year, 1928. This, of course, is the year that Mickey Mouse first debuted. And then we're first introduced to Goofy, and this part, definitely, it just doesn't translate well to video, and believe me, I've tried, because even though this is a projection, it's impressive projection, it's amazing. It's projected and layered in a way, just like the ride, to sort of give something flat, like 2D animation, 3 dimensions. It's crazy, I can't explain it well, you just gotta see it in person. And then Mickey haphazardly hits the track switch and is overcome by an overwhelming guilt. And suddenly, we are in a Wild West desert vista. Mickey and Minnie are heroically trying to stop our runaway train, but enter Pluto, Mickey Mouse's best friend, whose main concern is ensuring that Mickey and Minnie Mouse's perfect picnic go as planned. They forgot their basket, and Pluto is determined. He's gonna get it back to them because he's a good dog. He's a good dog. If you keep your head turned towards his direction, you'll see grief sort of overtake him as the sun quickly sets over him, but alas, he's not gonna give up because he's a good dog. We rush into the next scene. It's a carnival scene where there is definitely a lot to look at and take in. If you look behind you, you'll see a bouncy house and a Frontier shooting arcade. And right in between, you'll see a cool reference to the Potato Land short. Once again, we quickly see our hero Pluto, although this time it looks like he's recruited the help of Donald's nephews, Huey, Dewey, and Louie, or who knows, they could just be in line for the Twister attraction, I don't know. Here in the carnival scene surrounding Donald Duck, we can also see clever nods to the former Great Movie Ride. Firstly, with the Chills and Thrills tagline adorning the coaster, which was also strewn across the original Great Movie Ride entrance banner just as you're getting into the ride. But also, a little more blatantly, we have a reference with a poster advertising the Great Moving Ride. And then the Twister appears, which also, this was actually a very early element of the Great Movie Ride as well. Right before you would enter the Munchkin Land sequence of the Wizard of Oz bit, you'd be in this Twister. I think it turned into a Fantasia scene, but here in Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, it's done to better and likely more consistent long-term effect. And even with this windy Twister spinning around, people with much better vision than mine were able to see that among the windswept debris in this Twister is a mailbox stating, "There's no place like home," which is obviously a tasteful nod to the DreamWorks movie Home. Spinning amidst the Twister is Mickey and Minnie, and of course our valiant hero Pluto, although he does appear to be losing some significant protein out of the basket as the sausages might become one of the Twister picnic casualties. The Twister sends us into a beautiful tropical landscape. If you look behind you, you'll see beautiful, lush, green-filled caverns. That is, until the volcano erupts and lava spews and we are sent down a rushing waterfall. Let the tropical music overtake you. Submerged in the depths, we venture out into the oceanscape. This is probably my favorite scene in the entire attraction. The vibe in here is so chill, but it turns to high thrill when we discover that Pluto, our hero, has somehow managed to charter his own submarine, all in pursuit of bringing a hearty picnic to his master, Mickey Mouse. He's shot out into the watery abyss by way of the next best thing about this attraction, the trumpeting Runaway Railway octopus. Does it get any perfecter than this? It does not. It does not get perfecter than the trumpeting Runaway Railway octopus. So we quickly drain the ocean and we briefly enter into a busy cityscape. We discover Pluto getting more manic and frantic as we run amok. He's looking for Mickey and Minnie, but he can't see them because they're behind him at this point. Now, I imagine behind the scenes, it's just like Scooby-Doo animation doors because the logistics of how they're getting where they're getting so fast is baffling to me, to say the least. But anyways, I like this scene a lot because this is also where a ton of Imagineering Easter eggs can be found. For instance, we have the 1401 Flower Shop. Now, this is a nod to 1401 Flower Street, the actual address of Walt Disney Imagineering back in Glendale, California. And then if you look up top at that detergent billboard, it states ink and paint. And this is a nod to the early days of Disney animation where every single frame was inked and painted by hand. Now, all of the signs and the names that you see here in the scene, they aren't there by accident. They all have purpose. They all mean something. They're all a reference to either other Imagineers or other Disney directors or notables or scenes. But my two favorites are the nods to the Imagineers we actually met on opening day. Cherita Carter, who was the main producer for the project, and of course the lead Imagineer for the project, future Rafferty's Roadblocks, perhaps a cheeky nod to the delays that this project had over its entire development. This was originally supposed to open last year, remember, but I'm sure Galaxy's Edge probably had something to do with it, but who knows. Personally, I think this detail is awesome, and good on Kevin for taking humorous ownership of those issues with this little funny Easter egg in the ride. Now, I can't take credit for a lot of the discoveries in this scene and the ride in general, but I'm gonna link an amazing Blog Mickey article down below that goes even deeper in detail than I'm doing right now, so definitely check it out. Then we're in the middle of Daisy's Dance Studio, which admittedly doesn't have a lot going on, but I do like the duck-inspired ballets and presentations on display around the room. Things like Donald Quixote and Swan Lake and the Nutcracker. When you begin the conga, there's a fun hidden Mickey in one of the flowers against the mirror. I like this scene. And then we enter into the alley and into a factory with a smasher that's about to smash us. Now, I want to believe that Pluto is in here somewhere, but I can't find him. Maybe he realized enough was enough and this sequence was just going to be too dangerous for him. Nevertheless, though, there's still a lot to look at in this scene. There's a lot of movement, there's a lot of hidden Mickeys, and it's all leading up to one of the most impressive sequences in a Disney ride, period. It's the transformation of this factory scene back to a peaceful evening in Runamuck Park. This transformation is done so seamlessly. It's done so well. I'm never gonna get tired of it. I kind of wish there was more stuff like this in the attraction, but I still haven't gotten everything out of just this one scene. It's impressive no matter where you're facing, no matter where you're looking, the projection, the prop changes, it's all done masterfully. It's masterful. And who knows, Pluto could be hiding somewhere in here that I just haven't seen yet. If you guys know where he is, let me know. But for sure, he is in our triumphant finale scene where the perfect picnic under musical serenade and aerial pyrotechnics has officially commenced. Here we can take in Mickey and Minnie, and of course, Pluto in his glorious audio animatronic form. Mickey sings, Minnie listens, all in the presence of an unharmed picnic basket, both of them seemingly unknowing of the lengths that Pluto went to return it to them. Now I can't confirm this, but to me it looks like this might be a pair of Mickey ears going down the little creek here. I might be crazy, I'm probably crazy, I haven't been able to get a good shot of it, but I want to believe it's Mickey ears. It also looks like it could be a crab, maybe? I don't know, a stowaway from our ocean scene. Also, I love the lighting in the scene. I like the light fixtures in general. I want these lighting fixtures in my home. And then, right as we exit, we get a glimpse of more Mickey fireworks and another unconventional hidden Mickey laid out in the lawn. And there you have it. On the way out, we pay our earnest respects to Walt Disney, and we just rode Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway together. It's an utter delight of an attraction, and I'm sure we've only just scratched the surface as far as all that there is still left to discover in this attraction. I feel like this is a ride that's gonna always be giving back, always be giving to us. It's a great, great ride. If you notice something that I missed, or if you know about something that I've missed, definitely make us aware. I wanna know about it so I can look for it. And so, with that, stay tuned, explorers. I know it's crazy in the world right now, and none of us are gonna be able to ride this attraction for a while, it seems, but hopefully these little bits can tide us over for now, and we're gonna have a top 3 things about Runaway Railway coming out pretty soon, so stay tuned for that. Stay strong, explorers, and stay healthy. We're gonna be back soon, and until then, we'll see you in the happy place. Bye.